Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Eric Lee, Springfield Baptist Church, and welcome back to the Pastor's Corner. I'm grateful for your time and attention, and I want to make the most of it. And the best way for me to really frame my thoughts this week is to think chronologically. Back on March the 12th, I believe that was a Thursday, March the 12th, when Governor Kemp announced that schools would be closing for a distinct period of time, and that March the 13th, which was a Friday, I believe, was the last day of schools for schools in Rockdale County, in Newton County, and in other counties throughout the state. It was at that time that the governor was being guided by national voices, by the Covid-19 National Task Force, led by Dr. Fauci and Dr. Bird and Vice President Mike Pence and others. And that's when we all realized, after it was announced that it was a pandemic, that's when we began to realize that it was time to make some really difficult decisions about shutting things down. April the 20th, this past Monday, Governor Brian Kemp made a decision, a unilateral decision, to the extent that none of the major mayors of the cities of Georgia were consulted in his decision to begin to reopen the economy of Georgia again by allowing businesses like bowling alleys and gymnasiums and barbershops and salons and massage parlors and tattoo shops, and even to weaken the restrictions on churches gathering, and that even movie theaters would be allowed to open under this new plan that begins on this Friday and continues on this coming Monday. And so we've got to ask ourselves, what has changed from March the 12th to April the 20th? One thing that has changed is 45,000 people have died in this country, and I wish to extend my condolences to all of those families. What has changed is 836 people have died in the state of Georgia during that time, and I certainly wish to extend my condolences to all of those families. Many of those are persons that were infected and passed away in Albany, Georgia, which is a hot spot and one of the top hot spots in the world for the transmission of COVID-19. And in the context of all of this, our governor has decided to loosen restrictions and to open up the economy. There appears to be a push happening within these days among a limited few, limited but powerful few, who want us to believe that this threat is over, that the worst is behind us. But I need for all of us to appreciate that we are only now beginning to see the true impact of COVID-19, particularly on communities where there are people of color. There are 32% African Americans in the state of Georgia. Our population in the state of Georgia consists of 32% African Americans. And everywhere where the data is available, there is an indication that we have disproportionate deaths among African American people for various reasons. I put some of those reasons in the last Pastor's Corner. I urge you to watch that. I'm not certain that was considered when the decision was made to open Georgia for business. We have seen a governor who has reversed his own decisions on more than one occasion. And now the governor is even superseding the COVID-19 National Task Force guidelines for reopening, which require us to have 14 consecutive days of a decrease in new infections. And so we're nowhere near that. But our governor has decided to open. This is the same governor who on April 1st got on national television and said that he had no idea that COVID-19 could be transmitted asymptomatically. He called that day a game changer, and yet less than 3 weeks later, he's prepared to open massage parlors, barber shops, and beauty salons, and even churches. And so I want to make our church aware that Springfield is not going to change how we've been operating since March the 15th. And that is, we will continue to offer online worship services, online Bible study, online giving will continue to be available. Please check all of our online social media pages to learn more about the updates. Springfield Christian Academy will continue to be closed, and we're committed to them being closed through the end of May. Our Springfield Board of Directors, who lead alongside me here at Springfield, we're going to be monitoring this weekly and monthly, because we don't want African American people, Hispanic American people, white American people gathering in places like sanctuaries and allowing a spike in transmission to occur. I pastor a church with several thousand members. I pastor a church where we are aware of at least 10 members who have tested positive for COVID-19. I pastor a community of people of color, and it's important that people who are in leadership positions like me are prepared to take stands and to talk about what it looks like to love the people that we give leadership to. We live in a country that testing is still not readily available. I learned today that we have tested a little over 4 million people in a country that has 350 million people. I've learned today that of the 4.1 million that we have tested, almost 20% have tested positive. And so we're only testing people who show severe signs of the sickness, but there are people who don't show signs that we have yet to test. And until we have this, are able to identify where this invisible threat is, it's very difficult to fight the battle that needs to be waged. And so I urge you to be mindful, to take authority, to guard your health vigilantly. Just because they say it's safe to go to LA Fitness doesn't mean you need to go. Just because they say that Planet Fitness is open doesn't mean that you need to go. Just because they say barbershops can be open doesn't mean that you need to go. You need to make your own decisions, especially now, more than any other time in your life. And so I want to also say to the barbershop owners and beauty salon owners, many of whom are members of our church, please be careful. Please be mindful, and don't make an economic decision when it comes to your own health and wellness. Your church family is available to you, so please don't make a decision. If there's no food on your table, your call needs to be to Springfield Baptist Church. We're grateful for your time in digesting this information. Please make God-fearing decisions. Please continue to claim good health, and continue to check back here with us on all of our social media channels and platforms. for the latest information. I love you. Thank you for your giving to Springfield Baptist Church. We're about to serve about 300 nursing home workers within our community, and we need your support in doing that. Thank you for giving. Thank you for praying. Thank you for staying connected. And thank you for continuing to check in. God bless you, and God keep you.